What is up, everybody? Logan here again with another video coming right at you guys. And today we had another perfect setup today on the call credit side. The market gapped up big again, and we'll get into the trades, why we took the position we took. I do wish I got a little bit closer, but I did still collect 50 credit on my position on a 5 wide, which is a 10% return on collateral today. So I'm overall very happy on the trading day already. And then I could have continued to roll my strikes down if I wanted to. I just didn't do that. We're still in a crazy time, right? The market's still ripping all over the place where it's up 2% or down 3%, right? So we'll get into this one. Do want to start out by saying I appreciate all the support, guys. We're up to 10,835 subs. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd really appreciate it. About 30% of the viewers aren't subscribed currently, so make sure you click that notification. I do want to say I do appreciate all the comments from the last one, and I think we should comment a baseball emoji on this one. I got my Rockies jersey on down below in the comments, so I'd really appreciate that for the algorithm. You guys have been doing incredible things for the channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. Back to the EM. The EM was 49. Right, for today, yesterday's close, and we closed at 36.77. Well, if we go to SPX stock, where did we open today? 37.50-ish, right? We were chopping around 37.46, 37.50. I put the trade on immediately if we go over to the Discord and check out the expected move with the EM high already exceeded by 25 points by open. And the 2 times the EM high is 37.75. Rarely do we even ever exceed that. So I almost placed my trade at 3,800, but I wanted another 4% amount of runway on another day because we know that less than 0.5% of the time do we see that happen. And then I did see a YouTube comment from yesterday's video saying, Logan, I did the same thing you were talking about. I went above 2 times the expected move high and I'm making bank today. So it's really great to see you guys also implementing this as I show you guys. And then, of course, if you want to come trade with us, you can come join the Discord. The link is below in the description to get my call outs for my 0 DTEs. So as you guys can see, we'll hop over to that call out page. And at 7:32, which is 9:32 Eastern, I'm on Mountain Time currently. You can see I called out for 45 to 50 here, and this is 1% above the 2 times EM high, which is actually a little bit more. But this put us in that 4% up range for us to get tested, and it gave us incredible runway with the VIX still staying elevated for now, right? We're not below 25 or right around that 30 mark. So that elevation is going to give us good premium. And then, of course, you see this, right? Bumping into resistance, falling, bumping into resistance, falling, and we almost filled that gap, right? And if we go to the 0 DTE checklist, well, we did our expected move math. Let me update this to 65 out of 68. And the other loss that we took was, which I should track down here, was a 10-cent debit. So it was super tiny, right? It was like a break even. And we had already made 40 cents on the call spread. This happened Friday. So it was still a winning day. Just a trade I didn't like to have on, so we just chopped it real quick. But expected move math, we checked that right out of the box, right? Coming back here, and we are going to start putting this chart in this channel, the expected move chart. And I have a pregnant lady as the emoji because, like, when you're expecting, right, like you're pregnant. So that's the expected move chart. And back to this though, people are also asking me, Logan, should we do a put credit spread today? I didn't, because I honestly expected this gap to fill, and we almost did, right? Yesterday's close, 36.77. I think we could still do it. The day's not over. Let me refresh this real quick. We seem to kind of be hovering right here on this 36.90 zone. But yeah, I honestly thought, hey, you know, even up 2%, over 2% this morning, there's a good shot we could try to fill this gap. And this is just one of those perfect days. This is exactly as perfect as it gets. I mean, you're putting yourself at less than a 0.5% chance of getting tested. You're getting a 10% return on your collateral. There was a gap up, which generally means we try to go fill that gap to the bottom. The VIX stayed elevated, and we exceeded the expected move yesterday, right? Which means we generally would do the same thing today. And right with an open, we were exceeding it already, right? And then now we're back within it. So tomorrow might be a little more calm. We'll go over to the TOS charts, but honestly, I really didn't even use the charts as much because this setup was so perfect, right? Just the top 3 to 4 things were all right there for us. And that was more of a probability trade, in my opinion, than it was like, what are the charts doing, right? So I just thought, hey, we had that big gap up green day yesterday. We had another one today. This is the perfect time to start an out of the money call credit expiring today. And literally within, I think, 30 minutes, everybody had almost max profit. And some took it off immediately. Others are still letting it ride. I'm currently holding my contracts. Really wasn't too worried today. This is probably the most calm, insane trading day that I've had in a long time, where the setup is perfect. So you're able to go in with a comfortable amount of your account and still not be in a spot where you're getting emotional, right? Because that's the number one thing as a trader, is trading to where you don't get emotional. It's to where you have the proper sizing, where if it was to start to go against you, you could say, all right, I'll eat this $1,000, or I'll eat this $200 or $2,000, instead of eating 10 grand, or, maybe it hurts to eat $300. So you have yourself positioned to where you only eat $100 if you take a loss. So that's really important as a trader, right? That's the mindset, because, a lot of humans live in anxiety and fear quite a bit, or they live in greed when it comes to the markets. We're like, I got to have a trade on. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you really just have to wait for your setup on how you are trading. So everything was checked on the checklist, sized properly. The timing was great. And I chose those strikes based on being at that 4% mark, which the market only moves over 4% from the previous day's close 0.5% of the time. So the chances that it was to do it today, extremely low, right? Especially after yesterday's green day. But I was ready to manage risk if I had to. You're looking at that resistance. If we start breaking up towards 3,800, I will look at rolling those strikes into the next day. And since we're about 30 points away, that means for the next day's expiration, I could push my call spreads up another 30 points, which would put me at 38.60 or 38.70 for the next day. And knowing we have 2 gaps below to fill is a pretty good shot that within the next week, we're going to go and fill these gaps, right? The one that was created yesterday that hasn't filled, and we still haven't filled the one that was created today, although we got very close, like 10, 15 points away from that filling. So that's what was really nice about this specific trade, right? We don't even really have to dive into the TOS charts today like we typically do, just because, I was more looking at the options chain, the probability. We had the perfect setup. Of course, it was another gap up. And at that point, right, you're just sitting there, especially with how much futures had went up last night. And when we hit that 2.2% on the ES, you could see that was resistance, and we started selling off, and the market generally respects those levels. And this is just part of being a day trader, is just keeping that on your side. And I really don't have very much interest in swing trading anymore, now that you can trade 0 DTE every single day, right? Now that it's Monday through Friday, which that used to never be the case. If you're someone who's brand new to options trading or trading 0 DTEs, we used to only have expirations on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now we have them 5 days a week. So now that Tuesday and Thursday is included, swing trading, knowing that there's gap fills, right? It's very difficult for me to feel like I have an edge compared to day trading, but it really does depend on the setup and how you're trading. But I mainly just trade vertical credit spreads, and I try to achieve 6 to 10% per spread. And with a 65 out of 68 run right now that I'm on, it's a really incredible strategy. So it's been great so far. Just wanted to take a deep dive real quick for you guys. And then here's Vance. He also was very kind to show, right, these are the odds out of the money, and the minimum credit on a 5-wide you'd have to get to justify the risk, right, depending on where your strikes are. So he shows right here, even, right, 3.5%, you would need at least 40 credit if you were taking, a 98% chance out of the money, because that means that, only 2% of the time do we move over 3.5%. And that's where I said, right, and you guys can see here, this is that 99% is pretty generalized on this, right? Because rarely do we even see a 4.55, 5.5% day. So VIX staying pretty calm, right? A lot of chop. We have earnings this week still. So this is another perfect setup today for the zero DTEs. I imagine the market makers made a killing today as well. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to go over in this video. Just like another quick showing of how this was a perfect setup, right? And then Halcyon also mentioned here, another gap up. We're going to open right at the 2 times EM for the ES, right into the main resistance. Same about SPX, just about 11 points slower. Should be a decent probability expected move setup. And then he also ended up taking a spread right around here. He got a $1.45 on a 5 wide, and that thing was just absolutely printing today. And I think he said he took it off like 15 minutes later for 75-80 credit just to get out, like on this little bump down. You know, that's a pretty solid entry and a pretty solid bump down there. So that's going to be everything for me in this video. I hope you guys found some value. We are going to have a sponsored video soon on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. And that's going to be everything for me today. Like I said, if you guys want to come trade with us in the Discord, the link is below. I do run discounts for 3 months, 6 months, and a year if you don't want to pay $70 a month, month to month. And those get you free months just by paying up front. I think most people average a 30 to 40% discount on those prices just by signing up ahead of time. So just wanted to let you guys know that, of course. Let's keep trying to crush this market. Let's see if these gaps can fill. That's going to be everything for me in this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.